Hello and welcome guys. So in this module we are going to discuss the process. One thing that I want to discuss with you guys, since we are discussing alpha level purifier, we have tried our level best to put things whatever are there as they are explained in the manual, but there can be mistakes because we have tried to put efforts. This is very complex automation in the alpha level purifier, so there can be some errors in explanation. Your feedback is always welcome. If you find any such occurrences, please let us know, and so that we can improve on that. Okay, we have discussed, me and Pranit sir, and we have taken reference and help from other people also who have been expert on this purifier. So but there is always a chance of improvement, so please let us know if there is any such occurrence. Okay, now let us start with the process part.
To every marine engineer out there, from junior engineer to chief engineer and electrical officer, we all know that earning respect on ship is very important. We all know fast promotions are very important, and we all know that इज्जत कमानी है, promotion चाहिए तो काम आना चाहिए, तो जूते पड़ते हैं, गालियां पड़ती हैं, and for that you need a good mentor. Sometimes we keep finding those mentors on board ship, अगर नहीं मिल रहे तो MNDFLIX है ना, Merchant Navy Decoded has launched a subscription model where you can find more than 30 plus courses with respect to your rank, helping you earn respect on ship. Please enroll on these free trial videos, watch these videos as per rank, and then decide whether you want to invest or not, with a very good flexible payment plan as well. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata.
तो प्रोसेस पार्ट में क्या है, सबसे पहले फर्स्ट थिंग इज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ऑपरेशन. In the previous videos, Pranit sir have already explained the principle of separation, but since we are going through a flow, we will take up the manual aspect of how the things are going on in this purifier in the manual. ठीक है, देखो, तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज प्रिंसिपल ऑफ सेपरेशन. एज वी आर अवेयर दैट दिस इज अ LCAP model, purifier and clarifier model, so we will not have an oil, will not have a water outlet. So water, and so we can see that the oil feed is coming in from this side, and this is the clean oil outlet. The water outlet is blocked by a valve, which is the V4 valve. Okay, and sludge and water are accumulated like this in the water, in the surface. So there is an interface here also, so don't think that there is no interface in the alpha level purifier. There is a interface which is for the water and oil E line. Okay, so sludge, as the manual says, sludge and water accumulate at the periphery of the bowl. Okay, and the water rises inside through this outlet and goes out into this section. Next is sludge and water are discharged at preset time intervals. During the discharge, the oil inlet is closed, the same as that happening in the Mitsubishi also. So this is the oil in, and as when there is a discharge time, so discharge interval we will discuss as per the timer. So maybe it is 120 minutes or 60 minutes, as we have set the discharge interval to. The bowl will open and the sludge will be discharged out, and at that time the oil feed is in the recirculation line. Okay, then this water is also discharged, but only when there is a signal. So this is the water transducer in the line of the, this is the purified oil outlet line. In that line you have got a water transducer MT50. This works on the capacitance principle. Okay, so as the capacitance of the water is more than the oil, this transducer measures the higher capacitance and let the EPC50, we can see EPC50 is the control unit. So we can see here this MT50 has measured that water has increased in content in the clean oil outlet line, and this EPC50 has, what it has done is opened the pneumatically operated valve V5. This is the drain valve. Okay, there is also a PT5 pressure sensor for letting that how much pressure is there in the drain line. So this V5 opens by the EPC50 command, and the drain takes place. In further lectures we will explain how much time interval the drain opens and how many times the drain opens. When we are seeing the parameter settings and the parameter list, that time we will discuss this in more details. Okay, so water transducer, what the manual says is water transducer is continuously transmitting it to the control unit, and the reference value is stored. That is also very important. The reference value is stored in how much time is actually this water alarm is coming. Okay, that values, that is why it is a very smart and very advanced type of control system in EPC 50, which is taking the reference every time the water discharge is taking place. Okay, the control unit compares the transducer signal with the reference value. Okay, and when they will see that this is a significant deviation from the reference value, and that time the draining of the water will take place. Okay, at that time the draining of water will take place. So you see that the valve will V5 will open to discharge water. Now we will understand how the process actually starts in the purifier. So when we put on the purifier, the oil pump, separator and heater are started. We can see here the heater, oil pump and the purifier is started. Once the purifier achieves the rated RPM, then there is a temperature transmitter. We have seen in the previous video TT1 and TT2 temperature transmitter in the inlet line, and there is this speed transmitter ST, which signals the EPC 50 control unit that for the oil feed temperature to come in, you need a temperature transmitter, otherwise the oil will be recirculated until the temperature has not come. And then the purifier separator is also having a rated speed, right? That speed sensor ST, speed transmitter, is giving signal to the EPC 50 that correct speed has come. So it is saying that when the correct separator speed and correct temperature is reached, then first thing is the sludge discharge will be carried out to empty the bowl. So any contents before the operation has to be discharged out. That happens in Mitsubishi also. Before giving the purifier start, the bowl has to be emptied. Okay, the first discharge has taken place, desludging has taken place, then the process for purification will start. Okay, so what happens, the changeover valve directs the oil to the recirculation line. Until this time there is the oil going into the recirculation line. The first water, as in Mitsubishi purifier, it was sealing water. Here the conditioning water is added to the separator bowl. Okay, until the pressure sensor in the oil outlet senses that the pressure and signals the control. So what happens is, basically the water will come in, conditioning water will start going into the purifier, and as there is no oil inside the purifier, this conditioning water will go and rise into the clean oil outlet side. This PT, pressure transmitter, will measure the pressure in the oil outlet side. That will show that the oil has come into the, water has come into the oil outlet side. That means ki the bowl is now filled up. Okay, so that means ki conditioning water has now to be stopped. At this time the control unit registers the time taken. So you see here, this is taking a reference value here ki how much time it is taking to fill the bowl. So next time it will supply water for that much time only. Okay, control unit registers the time taking for the water addition. This water flow is a reference value, and later it is used to calculate the correct amount of conditioning water and the displacement water to be added. This is very important line, guys. From the next time when it will go for any desludge operation or the purifier will restart, this value will be taken as a reference value. Kyun? Kyunki because maybe there is a sludge accumulated, so or the disc have, so the space is reduced. So if due to that the space has reduced, the water required for conditioning in this time is lesser. So every time this will take as a reference value, a new reference value will be generated by the purifier. So this much water will be going inside the purifier for conditioning water. The separator will discharge. This was just for the flow measurement. that how much the flow was going inside. Now the flow rate was calculated कि how much water, conditioning water is required. Now this control unit will signal the solenoid valve to open the correct amount of conditioning water according to the flow rate that has measured in the previous time. Okay, previous time it has measured the flow rate and it has discharged. Now this time this will fill the bowl and measure the correct amount of conditioning water. When the conditioning water has already gone, this is just like a sealing water for initial. So why it is called conditioning water? Conditioning means, so conditioning means that given as the term for the any sludge or any impurities which is remained, no, it becomes easier to desludge. Okay, if any sludge or something is remaining in or stuck in the bowl quartz, the water, conditioning water, is actually making this sludge conditioning. Okay, so that is why it is called conditioning water. The term is called conditioning water. Okay, now this recirculation, you can see in this diagram, until the conditioning water is going inside this is the conditioning water, and EPC 50 has given the signal dot signal that as per this previous reference value we have to supply the conditioning water inside the bowl. Okay, as the conditioning water time has elapsed, the change over valve will now change direct the oil inside the separator. Okay, when the oil is sensed in the oil outlet, now oil will come in the oil outlet because the oil feed has been open. Okay, then the PT, the pressure transmitter, this is PT4, it signals the EPC 50 that oil has come into this unit, the oil, and now the control unit EPC 50 has stored this data that how much oil is there inside the bowl, how much oil is required to fill the bowl, and this data has been reached. And after this process the purifier cleaning process is now running. Okay, unprocessed oil is fed and the clean oil is pumped from the separator outlet. So this is all about the process, cycle start, and the principle of operation. In the next part we are going to discuss desludge and any if any water has come, then instantaneously what the purifier does. Okay guys.